I sort of fell in love with his character. It's a very complex character that Keanu plays, and I think very moving. So, you know, we're rooting for him. We're on his side, and still, you know, he works on the dark side. So it's a very complex situation, John Wick. I think he's unique. I loved his work in The Matrix. He's got a very kind of very individual, very sweet nature, great to work with, kind, there, present, all the things you want.
It's really thrilling. You know, you make a piece of art and hopefully you love making it and you hope other people will love it, and then when they do, it's so gratifying. And honestly, I don't know what's not to love about this movie. You know, I was a huge fan of the first two before I joined this incredible franchise, and I think this film just elevates not only the action game to the next level, but at the heart of it is a real human story. You know, the character that I play, the adjudicator, is an emissary of the high table, the enforcer of the binding rules of the high table, and to play a character that gets to help take audiences a little bit deeper into the world of John Wick, you know, deeper into the mythology and the philosophy was really, really fun. You know, Keanu is such a vulnerable person and a grounded person and an emotionally intelligent person, and I think those are all the qualities that he brings to John Wick, and that's why people connect immediately to his character. Honestly, I can't pick just one. The whole experience was so much fun and such an honor and such a dream, really.
How much is honor? It's big honor. Big honor to be like you know, to be here like new person. It's bad person, you know, not a good person. and this like it's really fun, to be honest. He's one of the best actors, and like I really feel blessed because I have that scene with him.
Honestly, I just don't have a word. Still a little bit in shock. We just try to make movies that are fun and things that we want to see. You know, it's a movie of fanboys for fanboys. If you like action genre, if you like Japanese anime, if you like martial art films, I guess. Sergio Leone westerns, Akira Kurosawa movies. Hopefully you'll like our movie. We kind of hopefully paid tribute to them all. It makes the world. You know, if you're going to brag about having the world of assassins, you better have the world of assassins. I love all film. I love international cinema as well as American cinema. So to be able to pull and have the opportunity to pull from the best in the world to build this landscape that hopefully the audience gets to see something new and original is, you know, it's epic.
You know, I think he is John Wick. It's just, there's nothing. He is John Wick, and he's doing most of his stunts himself, and he's just a character, and he's just loves to be playing that part of the. So I think it's his love to the movie and love to the character.
My parents have friends who are in their 80s, and they don't watch R-rated movies, but they watch John Wick, and they're so excited. I'm like, holy cow. But especially when you have a third movie, especially you see how hard Chad and Keanu worked on this kind of thing, it's just a joy and humbling, and you got to enjoy it now because how rare is this, especially for a genre and a third flick? Just feel blessed. He brings in a humanity that not a lot of actors can. And one of the greatest things about working with him in regards to the script itself is he takes lines of dialogue away from himself and gives it to other actors because he knows full well what makes that character cool is the silence Buster Keaton of it all. You want to see him emote, and then you want to see him kick ass. The most impressive thing about working with a guy like Keanu is he gets his ass handed to him, he falls, and he gets up. I mean, most of us can't lie down and get up as swiftly as he can, but to see that he is first on set, the last to leave, always asking for another take, and getting excited about the tech, knowing the intern's name, that has always been on each of the movies a joy, because you're like, God, I just want everyone to be like that, and yet Keanu is.
Feels amazing. I mean, we've, you know, been so lucky that all three movies have really been embraced and they keep getting better and better, which is very rare. I think that Keanu embodies, you know, the spirit. He's so endearing. Audiences love him. I think he is so warm and lets people in that he is kind of like the perfect hero. You know, I think the first one will always be the most special because it was the little movie that could. It was an independent film that fell apart 10 times with first-time directors, and it was all a big risk that obviously had a really high reward, so that will always be the most special for me.
You know, I just wanted to hold my own. I just wanted to carve a little space for this brand new character and bring some heart, some depth, and be able to, you know, work alongside Keanu and, you know, not blow the spot up, but really, you know, do the very best I could.
It's a great movie. It's a really good movie. It's a great action movie. Keanu's terrific in it. Keanu's just, you know, he's everything that Laurence said he is. He's reserved, charming, diligent, talented, caring, there all the time. You like him, you know? No, he's just a good guy, you know, and good to work with, and perfect, and takes it very seriously, and does all the action beautifully. And the audience has, and how can you not like a guy who's lost his wife, lost his dog, and his car, and he turns out to be the most lethal assassin in the world? How can you go wrong with that?
I mean, for me, as just an actor and a fan of the John Wick movies, it is bananas to be in this movie. It's so exciting, so fun. To just be this character, I mean, my character it's a very small part in it. It's very weird and bizarre, which I love. But it was fun to play in the world that especially Laurence Fishburne had created in the second one. To be a part of that kind of the Bowery King's world, that rooftop of pigeons, all that stuff was really neat. I think he's incredibly just a very compelling person, like on screen. It's like very compelling to watch him. There is also, he doesn't need to do, like there's an economy of word, especially in John Wick 1, there's like an economy of dialogue. He doesn't have to say much. He engenders such kind of faith and goodwill from the audience, but then is doing such explosively like brutal stuff. And that juxtaposition between what you know to be like this sweet, kind of almost gentle person with what you see as like genuine ferocity is a great dynamic. And that's really, I love watching these movies, and I love watching him work in that way. If I was to be myself, I mean, I would probably be some sort of like, you know, like in the second one when all the people get activated and the assassins are all doing, like, there's a woman who's a violinist and an assassin. I'd probably be some sort of like comedian who's an assassin.
Tonight I'll pick walking in the sands of the Sahara in a John Wick suit playing John Wick. And having that moment and thinking of that with the director, and that was pretty special. It was something I was hoping to get to do after Chapter 2, and so it was really cool to have the opportunity to do that.
For me, just personally, you know, to be part of a franchise that's not only incredibly popular, but is so critically acclaimed is thrilling. For the John Wick franchise, I feel like it's the combination of his vulnerability and his really physical genius. When you watch him, you love watching him think. I don't know a better way to put it, but to me, you know, the actors that make you love watching them think are the people that, you know, are the stars.
Ecstatic and so honored to be part of this project. I mean, really. And I have to just major kudos because it starts at the top. You know, for Lionsgate to give Chad the opportunity, and for Chad to give his sensibility, and Keanu to give his heart and his skill. I mean, Chad and Keanu set the world, you know, and we just kind of follow the leaders. It's the dream of my life, really. And I mean that, you see that in my eyes. I mean, I get to do martial arts. I'm with Chad and Keanu, the cast and crew. I'm so grateful because you have a character that's not just, you know, one note. He let my character, you know, go up and down, because I can play it, but ultimately it's the director's call if he's going to use it or not. And he did, and I'm blown away and so grateful.